Alright, welcome back to the Facebook Launchpad course. This is Taylor the Marketer, and I'm going to show you some really cool stuff about Facebook again. Alright, so let's just get right into it. Today we're going to be building an ad step by step, and it's really cool because I want to show you some really interesting things that I'm sure you haven't seen before when it comes to this. So now I'm just going to show you exactly how I set up my ads over the shoulder. And I thought it would be best to show you the rest of the ad process and put it all together via screencasts. So I'm just going to do that right away. So let me head out of this presentation and show you exactly how I set up my ads. Alright, so as you can see, we're not inside the Facebook advertising platform. Right now we're inside of my notes because this right here is where I like to create my what I call my advertising spread. So I mentioned plenty of times during the ad creative video that you should test ads, that you should be testing. And there are multiple aspects of Facebook advertising that you can be testing. Most people get so lost when it comes to the actual testing side of Facebook ads. So I kind of want to get into it and how I do it and how I kind of use some advanced ways of thinking about it to actually test ads properly. And this is the part where I really think that even an advanced user or an expert user of Facebook ads can really get some insight from, because even expert users, even people who have clients, don't really know how to split test very well. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen people close, $2,000 per month clients, but they don't even know how to split test properly, which means that they're not going to be able to manage a budget very well at all. So this is all about managing your budget. This is all about getting the most out of your advertising money. So let's get into it. What an advertising spread is it is basically just the spread of testing variables that I like to use in each of my different ad sets. So you have a campaign, right? I'm going to put campaign. And then that leads to multiple ad sets, right? So inside of those ad sets, you have multiple ads. That's just how the Facebook ad platform works. And the reason why I like to split these things up is because inside of a campaign, I test multiple ad sets, and inside those ad sets, I test multiple ads. And I'm going to show you how that's done really quickly. Let me see if I can draw. Can I draw on this? Alright, so I can't draw on the notes, so I pulled up a Lucid chart document here really quickly. And basically what we have here is this box right here is going to be my campaign. And I'm going to change the color to red, I guess. So this kind of dictates the entire objective of a whole bunch of ad sets and a whole bunch of ads. And inside this campaign, we have, I'm going to use diamonds for the ad sets. So inside of each of these campaigns, we have an ad set group. I'm just going to throw this one down here and say that there's only 3 ad sets. I usually use more than 3 ad sets, but hey, let's just stick with it for now. So within one campaign, there's multiple ad sets. And within each ad set, there are multiple ads. And it's actually very useful that there's an A in there, because we'll just keep that. There's multiple ads within each ad set. So inside of each ad set there are multiple ads, and sometimes I'll run more than 3 ads even inside of an ad set, but this is just for explanation purposes. What I do is I run these different ad sets inside of this one campaign, and in each of these ad sets I'll test things like different demographics, something that has to do with maybe different ages or different genders or different, maybe mobile and desktop. And I'll test all those different things inside of these ad sets. So say this ad set is, a different interest or demographic than this ad set, and this is a different interest or demographic than this one. All of these have those different variables that are changing within these ad sets, and that's why I have them. Now, what I do is I test each of these ad sets out for about 3 days, right? And then once I find the winner, say, these right here don't work as well as these two. And then after the 3 days have completed, I find that this middle ad set does much better than all of the other ones. That means that I keep this ad set and I keep it running, and then I start looking at what ads are doing the best. So depending on the circumstance, say these two ads don't do as good as this third one, so I keep that third ad running, and now I have a winning ad set and I have a winning ad, and this campaign is running very well now. So I understand what's going on. That's how I do the narrow down process. So I'm going to show you how I spread that, how I kind of find what I'm going to change, what variables I'm going to change, and that's why I have this note up. So let's get into it now. So what I usually like to do is I'll do a male-female split. I'll do a mobile desktop split. I'll do an interest split. Interest 1, interest 2. And those, I'll show you how to do that once I actually get into the actual ad back end. So what this looks like is I literally spread it out. I'll do, male. This will be our first ad set. I'm going to actually put ad sets down here. Not assets, ad sets. Fuck, I hate when Mac tries to correct me. All right, so in our ad sets, we are going to do male, interest 1, mobile, and see how I kind of incorporated all of these different splits into this ad set here. This is my first ad set, and in the ad set, I'm going to dedicate it to the male gender. I'm going to dedicate it to one specific interest that I create, combining behaviors and demographics and interests and things like that. I'll show you how that works. And then I'm going to dedicate it only to mobile. It's not going to do anything but show on mobile. And that right there is kind of how I start splitting this up. So then I do female interest 1 mobile, right? And see, I'm only changing one variable as I go along. This next ad set here is pretty much the same as this last one, except it's female instead of male. And then at that point, I'm going to do male interest 2 mobile, and then I'm going to do female, interest 2 mobile. And as you can see, it's starting to change. It basically is changing one variable as we go along. I'm not changing anything more than one variable each ad set. Now, as you can see, we're starting to stack up on ad sets here. And I know a lot of people don't like to have this many ad sets because that means that you're spending more and more money. But what I'm going to show you is how to do this without wasting money. What you're going to be doing is collecting data and finding which ads work the best for you. And that's a very, very important thing because most people don't think of advertising as testing. They don't think of advertising as, a way to collect data as opposed to just driving sales right away. And this is basically going to help you create that data that you need. So I'm going to continue going on here. We have male interest 1 desktop now. Now we're moving on to the desktop. Female interest 1 desktop. And then we're just going to do the last one, which is male interest 2 desktop, and then female interest 2 desktop. And as you can see, now we've spread every single one of these variables amongst, I think this is 8 ad sets now. So 8 ad sets altogether. And the reason why we've done this is because this is how we're going to run our ads. So when we get to the point where we are actually setting up the ads, we are going to be able to not have a guessing game at what we're going to do when we get in there. When we get to the ad set part of it, I know that I'm going to directly go to the gender and switch it to male. I'm going to go directly to interest and put in the interest, the demographics for interest 1. And then I'm going to go in and switch it to mobile. And then the next ad set that I create, I know I'm going to go straight to female, go straight to interest 1 again, and then switch it to mobile. And we do this, and it basically makes it like a process that is very, very easy to follow. Now, what we do here is we run each of these at $5 a day to start. And don't be freaked out by the price of that, because like I said, once you start running this, you'll be able to see what's working, and you'll be able to shut ads off as they aren't working for you. Now let me just put this here. All right, so we're going to be running all of these for $5 a day, and this is going to be our big wave of ad sets that we're going to make. And at this point, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So $40 to begin the entire thing. So I'm going to put total $40. And so we're going to be doing this daily for about 4 days. So $40 times 4 days, 4 times 4 is 16, so $160 total. So we're going to be putting $160 into these ads over a course of 4 days. But what this $160 does for us, and mind you, I'm sorry, but if you're not willing to spend $160 to find out the information we're about to find out because of this, which is basically one, what ad actually works well, two, how your audience reacts to certain ads, what offers work the best with your audience, literally vital information, how much reach and engagement to expect for future advertising. Basically, some of the most vital information you're ever going to find, and you can get it for $160. And it's literally like the best thing in the entire world, because you can't do this with like Google AdWords very easily. What we're doing is we're forcing this in front of people in these demographic using these ad sets. We're basically forcing this ad in front of people so we can gather this data, find the ad set that works, right? Say just this one right here, say male interest to mobile or something. Say this one works the best, then we can just cut off all of these other ones and keep using this one. All we really have to do at that point is just move the budget and change it to like $15. We're only spending $15 a day, but the ad is working great. It's actually bringing conversions in, and we're starting to actually gather information and, you know, retargeting data, all of that stuff from one of the ads that works really great. And all you really have to do is front $40 a day for 4 days, which is just ridiculously cheap for finding out this information. So let's get into how to do this. Now that you understand how I'm going to structure this, let's get in how to actually do this inside of Facebook. So let me go over to my browser, and I have Facebook open. So I'm going to go over to my ads manager. So this is the back end of the ads manager, and this is where we can start creating our ad. So as you can see, Facebook is just readily changing. This is probably going to be slightly different if you're watching this a couple months after the recording of this. But the general idea remains the same. So you just gotta love how Facebook always changes their stuff around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create an ad. All right, so here we are in the back end of the Facebook Ads Manager now that we are creating this ad. Let's get into kind of what I would do if I were running an ad specifically for, say, the Marketers Guild group or something like that. So what I would usually do is video views if I'm starting an ad campaign. So let's just name this test for now. And this will be basically pretty much the same for every other type of ad objective. But let's get back over to here. I'm going to copy this and then paste it up into the name box because that's going to be the name of our ad set. So at this point now we have that kind of set up. And now it's time to start targeting this. And we're basically going to target this based on, these are kind of instructions in a way, inside of this name. So we're going to start with changing it to men, right? And then I'm going to create an interest, which I already have one set up and I had a screenshot of it. All right, so I had small business owners and digital marketing as my targeting. So let's do small business owners. Okay, now SM, let's just do that. Small business owners and behaviors. And then I had digital marketing as an interest. And so that's my interest one. This is what I would consider my interest one. So whenever I change up the interest, which we will do later on, I'll be changing one of these two things, basically. So at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the placement. This one is mobile, as you can see at the top. So first thing I'm going to do is mobile only, and then you're going to want to click only when connected to Wi-Fi. So that's one of the advanced options that you should do. But all mobile devices, keep all of the mobile devices. All right, so at this point we're going to start narrowing down what we want to use, and I'm going to get rid of audience network and probably going to get rid of Instagram feed as well. I'd like to keep suggested videos, but we'll see how that goes. In-stream videos, my video is too long, and let's see if we can get rid of instant articles. There we go. So I want to do suggested videos and the actual news feed. So that's what I'm going to go with. That has a potential reach of 110,000 people and an estimated daily reach of about 1.6 thousand to 5.4 thousand. But again, I'm going to change that to $5 because that's how we're going to be doing it inside of the spread. If you remember, we're going to change all of these to $5 so we can keep our cost as low as possible while still gathering a lot of data. So that's basically how you set up the first ad set. And then at that point, you can choose to do manual bidding if you'd like to. I'm just going to keep it on automatic for now. And then I think the only delivery we can do is video views, which is fine. I'm going to continue. And then at this point, you can upload an image, or I mean, you can upload a video if you'd like to, but I usually just use an existing post of some sort. And then I'll just like go to Taylor the Marketer page, and then I'll basically just select some type of post. Say I want to do this one right here. What I'm going to do then is make sure that this is all good. I won't have to create any copy because I already have the copy written inside this, but it basically fits the structure of the thing that I was talking about before. And in fact, if you wanted to see an example, here's a cool one. You can do something like quick tip to get their attention, shock factor kind of thing with some emojis. Don't burn money with Facebook ads. Watch the video. That kind of links them into watching the video, kind of gets them emotionally engaged because it says don't burn money with Facebook ads. A little bit of curiosity there. And then some logic into it. P.S. Our group is off the chain, Keith Van Ness says, and then give a testimonial right here. And then a call to action. And that's basically how you would want to structure the actual copy, whether it's video or image, really. Because you're not going to be selling anything necessarily. You're just going to be telling people, like for me, I'm just telling them to join my free group, or, you know, just getting, you know, your free copy of whatever. Something like that is just really simple. Just keep it simple, and you can follow the same ad structure that I did before. And it really works well if you use posts, because they're just pre-made for you pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can set up the different Facebook pixels. This is a newer account, so I don't have these things set up yet. But you can set up your Facebook pixels on your pages and things like that. Make sure to do those things, which we're actually going to get into in the retargeting video in the next one. And you can even add a button if you'd like to, but I don't have a button because it's just a comment ad. So that's pretty much it. That's how you set up the ads in general. So once you're done with this, all you'd have to do is press confirm. And then at that point, you just set up another ad. You just go in and you set up another ad set, create the ad set, and change this to female. And we're basically just going down this list. We're just going to keep making these ad sets. So now we're on female interest 1 mobile. And at that point, you just change, you know, female, you enter in your interest stuff, and you change all of this. And you just go down the list doing all of that. And that's pretty much how simple it is. It just comes down to doing the actual work of it. And that's really as simple as it needs to be. You know, creating your images and things like that, we already went over that. So really just test a bunch of different images. In fact, when you finish the ad set, all you really have to do is create more ads, use more existing posts, or you know, upload more videos and whatnot. It's really, really, really simple to do, and that's pretty much it. So let me get back over to the slide so I can finish this up. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to be going over the secret sauce, and that's basically just the way that every big marketer is making money, and it's really not a secret at all. It's just this little thing called retargeting, and we've all heard of it, but very few people know the actual power of it, and so I want to kind of share that in the next video. Don't miss that, because I'm literally going to go over the secret little powers that Facebook retargeting has, and what it can do to really, 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 really shape your business to be huge, to be a gigantic business, very, very profitable if you do retargeting right. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching Facebook Launchpad. This is Taylor the Marketer, and I'll see you in the next video.